Hey, again, Karanja James. This is your guy, and I hope you're okay. Whatever you're going through, I know you can overcome. So, there was a question I was asked about poverty, the difference between poor people and rich, and I've tried to put some things intact. Now, what I found is the reason why there are so many people who are rich and so many people who are poor. There are three or four things. And number one reason is reason itself. It's very funny. The number one reason why many people are poor is because they lack a reason. You lack a reason. So what do I mean by saying a reason? So reason comes from very many aspects. It might come from poverty, it might come from pain, it might come from rejection. If you are true to yourself and you are always speaking the truth, when your mind is at a very good state, when you have a very good state of mind, there is always that inner voice that tells you, you know what, it's time to do this. It doesn't have the power, but it gives you a suggestion. It's called the subconscious mind. It tells the conscious mind, it's time to do this. Why does that not happen? Because subconscious mind is the thinking part. It tells you, no, James, you should do this. But the conscious mind, this is where all your habits, all the programs that have been put inside you since you are young, that's where the programming is done, your conscious mind. This is where you have created habits. This is where you grew up and maybe you had this religious parent who told you money is evil. That's programming. Maybe you have this programming that say that rich people also cry. So your subconscious mind tells you, you know what, it's time to do this, but your conscious mind tells you, no, don't do it. Or if you're so lazy, your conscious mind is going to tell you, no, don't do this, let's buy some time. The most people I've watched and I've talked to, they have made much for themselves. They made a decision when the subconscious mind suggested something to them. They made it instant. They made it short term. However, let me give you a story. There was a time I boarded public transport and a very beautiful lady sat next to me. When you have a lady next to me, actually, we felt the same vibe. I was willing to talk to her and she was willing to talk to me, but she didn't know how to start. So when I went to talk to her, I found her that she was also wanting to talk to me. It was just by coincidence. When I said hi, she was, oh, hi, how are you going, We had a very good talk. We talked like 10 minutes before we arrived where we are going. And the time she left, she alighted the car, the public transport means, after walked like 3 steps, I found to myself talking that I had wasted a chance. For sure, we just talked like people who knew each other, but I never got to ask her number. After I walked like 5 steps, I tried to look back to see if I can see her. She had already gone. One mistake, I didn't ask her for a number. So what does that tell me? It tells me that I made a mistake. So I had like a window of 10 minutes. A window of 10 minutes. So I was to ask for her number, but there was something was telling me, Joe, just do it. That was failure and fear and lack of timing. So from that time henceforth, whenever I feel like doing something, You know, I do it instant without thinking of the consequences. You know, I feel like success is instant. I wasted a very good chance to have a number, and maybe that was my future wife, you know. So that's what I have come to understand. Whenever your heart, your mind tells you to do something, don't start thinking, oh, it's called analysis paralysis. That's a very bad disease. You want to analyze everything. You get a chance, you start analyzing, and it's called fear. It's called analysis paralysis, where your mind will start thinking, hey, am I doing the right thing? Should I wait? Sometimes you have a very good activity to do, very instant, and actually success is instant. You'll find that for you to be successful, you just need to make one call, one contact. You might talk to 20 people, but maybe the 21st person you meet on the way and is going to be in a hurry, but is going to be interested. If you lose that connection, if you don't talk to that person, that could be the end of you. Most of us only have one chance, and if you don't utilize that chance, and that chance, actually the best chances in life don't stay for long. They just happen like lightning, just like that, just a snap of a finger, they happen. So that taught me that if you want to be successful and if you want to talk to that person, talk to a person when the idea is hot. The black means says that you should hit the road when it is red hot. So act on ideas when they are red hot. And if you give a reason to act, you're going to act immediately. It's not tomorrow. Most of the actions that are needed to be taken, they should precise and act in short term. Let you figure out what will happen next. After getting the number, if I got the number of that lady, from that day, that's when I would understand. Is she a friend? Is she a lover? Is she a business person? You know, that was a very good chance I wasted. So I never had a reason to act very fast. So next time you have a chance, act very fast. Give yourself a reason to act very fast. Give yourself a reason. There are people who are rich just because they wanted to come out of the poverty. They were subjected so much to poverty, you know, and they had to act fast. Give yourself a reason. Give yourself a reason. Give your mind a reason to act. So why should I call this customer? Why do I need this money? Give you a reason to call. Give you a reason to talk to that person. Because, as I always say, the money that you want right now is with someone else. And if you don't take that chance to talk to that someone else, and every day we meet more than 100 people there, you never know. The person who's going to connect you to your destiny is among those people that you have ignored. Don't ignore anyone. Give yourself a reason to talk to anyone. Help any person that you can. So number one is the reason. Number two, fear. You fear. That is actually, men, when you're talking to ladies, you fear when you find a very beautiful lady, you feel water inside your stomach. They are called butterflies. You don't use your gut. Nowadays, I've trained to use my gut. So if when I have a reason, when an idea comes to my mind, I act very fast. I don't fear. Actually, I have a way I've discovered to train my mind. You know, sometimes you think, oh, that guy is so big, that guy is a CEO, that guy has money. No. Put your mind that guy, when he's cut, is going to breed just like you. When you pinch that person you think is of high caliber, when you pinch that person, he's going to feel pain. And the most worst idea I have in my mind is when I see a very maybe beautiful lady, a person who of high caliber, I tell to myself, that guy takes shit like I do. That guy's just a human being, so I have no fear. So don't fear anybody, don't fear any chance. Just know when you are in deep stress, that's when you can react. And actually, I wonder why most of us who are poor, you don't have anything to lose. Actually, when you talk to a person, there are only two choices. That person listens to you, or that person rejects you. Those two things. And I've not had pain. I've not had death. You cannot come to talk to me and I kill you. You know, there's nothing big that can happen. Talk to that person. There's nothing that's going to happen. Don't waste time. Talk to that goddamn person. Don't fear anybody. If you ask someone for money, there are only two things he can do. He either says yes or no. Most of the time, no's is always there. And no does not mean no, it means next opportunity. So don't fear anybody. Don't fear to be labeled the black sheep. In my family, I'm the black sheep. They say this, they say let's go north, I say south. Because I wonder why is someone telling us to go to north and what is there in south. That's how my mind works, you know. That's how I'm programmed myself. I have refused to be taken in a society that I wonder what people they are going to say about me. I don't care, man. You only have life one to live. You only have one life to live. Don't live fearing about what people will say about you. They have their opinion, they have their choices, they have their lives going on. Don't have any opinion in your mind that's going to let you back. Don't listen to the society. You're only you. And do you know, most of those people liberate others, those people who are mind hacks, you know, they don't think like everybody else. Stand up in the room, be that guy, be that girl that says, no, I have a question. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? You know, let you be called a rebel because you don't fear. You don't fear. You only live once. No one will live forever. All of us, at the end of the day, it's either the grave or you're nowhere to be found. So don't fear. Number 3 is procrastination. As I said there before, your mind is a software. It's a software that is programmed. Most of the software that we had before I removed the software of where I grew up, it took me some time to realize I was doing the wrong thing in the wrong place. You know, I had to change my mind, because most of the things that our parents and the people that surround us taught us is, you should do this, you should do this, you should respect the old. If you're old and you disrespect me, I have no guts to hold myself. Nitapita na I'm going to kick you like a bucket. I'm like a ball. I respect people when they respect me. That's done. So sometimes you are told when you're young you should respect the old. So they take advantage of me. That's a no. I respect where respect is given. You know, many people have been told things by their friends, those people you live together, and it's told if you join a group of 11, a group of 10 people who are lazy, the next person to be lazy is you. If you join a group of 10 people who own bicycles, the next person to own a bicycle it will be you. So what does that mean? The bad one that you have joined is going to do some programming in your mind. Better be called a rebel, be called a black sheep, you know, but have that notion that nobody can control you, only you can control your mind. You should filter what goes in your mind. Put a gate in what goes in your mind. And it's good to take everything, but make sure the decision that you have made is after you have thought about it. So, I repeat again, make sure that you are a product of your own self. So don't procrastinate. Don't say, you know, when I've gotten this idea, let me do it tomorrow. I was to call someone. There was someone I was listening to. She had this mind of calling her dad today. But something told her, no, don't call your dad today, I'm going to call tomorrow. That's procrastination. The next day, she was about to call. The phone was picked by another person who was their uncle. So the uncle told them, you know what, your dad has just passed on. That guy regrets it today. So if you have a chance to call someone you love, if you have a chance to call a customer, just do it. It might be too late. So don't procrastinate, don't fear, and most important thing, have a reason. The other thing, you should act very fast, react, and learn. Most of us fail in life, in the job that we are in, because we are not willing to learn. So I've never failed in my life. It's a learning process. So in my mind, I have taken fear as a stepping stone, as a staircase. So pain, there are two ways when you get pain. You know, there's two ways. There is a product of pain. There are two products of pain. Either you react positively or you react negatively. So you might lose all the money that you have, but that could be the best thing that ever has happened in life. So what do I mean? You might lose all the money that you have right now and become a beggar, and you feel so poor about yourself. You start thinking that you will never make it, or you lose your mind, you lose your money, and it motivates you. It acts like fuel. You know, I've lost everything. Now it's time to rebuild again. Most of us have gone to a place we call rock bottom. When you have nothing, and actually rock bottom is the best place to start. There's a time I was traveling to town. I found a woman with 2 kids and she had nothing. And between me and poverty, there's only 1,500. I went and talked to her because I like talking to people. I told her what happened. Oh, my husband died. I was chasing away from my home. Everything had happened. So after that, the story was so touching that I gave all the money that I had. I gave her all the money that I had. So remember, I was not at home. I was to travel back home. So I got into a public transport vehicle. And you remember I had no money. And I went and talked to the guy who was in charge. We call them the conductors. I talked to that guy. I told him, you know what? Today I don't have money, but the moment I have money, I'm going to send you through the phone. That guy gave his number. But that situation put some fuel in me the next day and the next day but one. Between the 2 days before, the 2 days after that incident, I had made more than 10,000. And I was able to pay double. So I sent that guy double of the money and had to call him. You know what? You carried me for free. I've returned money and I've sent you something small. So when I got home, I could not sleep. I woke up. I stayed awake thinking, what am I going to do? I started calling people who owed me money. I started pushing. There was a client I was following. I followed him. Even I called the client at 1 a.m. Do you know what he told me? Actually, I had lost my phone and I was waiting for your call. So tomorrow morning, the stuff you told me to come and take, I'm going to take it. Out of that deal, I made 10,000 clean. So it was a way to propel myself. So sometimes lose money, just give all the money you have and your mind is going to wake up. If you are not in a crisis, think of how you're going to look for a crisis and it's going to push you. So those are some of the things I have that are going to propel you yourself. So till you see next time.